Hey folks, it's Amy from Colorado Mountain Living. I'm doing kind of a silly video today. I don't know if you've heard of the term Easter eggs before, but a lot of times you hear it when in reference to a trailer or a movie coming out. Sometimes the trailer puts little Easter egg clues, little things you have to spot that kind of give you a clue to the movie. This happens a lot in your comic book movies and things like that. But a lot of times in trailers, they'll drop little clues, little things you have to spot. Or sometimes there's a blooper in a movie. Like I think this happened with, like what happened with Game of Thrones last season, or the last season that they had, there was an Easter egg because they forgot to cut out somebody's Starbucks cup sitting on the table. And anyhow, it was a well-known Easter egg. So these are little things that people hunt for in videos, little mistakes, little bloopers. So we have a small collection to share with you guys. These are little oopsies, more like things that were forgotten about. And they've just been relics since then, you know, almost like little artifacts from previous jobs that never gotten taken care of. And I know some of our viewers have already seen some of these and made some comments. So I know some people are noticing these already, but I've got a top 7. I know number 7, I'm pretty sure no one's seen before, but let me start with some of the ones on the inside. So I think probably the most obvious one, if you're new to our channel and you hadn't caught any of the spiral stair video before, if we're doing any of the filming on the inside of the house, and we shoot past the stairs, the first thing that you see, you see this, really cool railing and staircase, and then you see stairs to nowhere. Like, what happened to the staircase? We see, it seems to go downstairs, but the upstairs stops right here. And there's more of the house up here, but we don't have a connection. So that's kind of like my easy one. It's not like a real one because it's not necessarily, it's just one of those projects that we haven't finished yet. But there's definitely some that are connected to projects that we finished over 2 years ago. I think you're gonna find funny. So here's another indoor one. This is one that no one's really seen in a long time because we haven't done any footage upstairs. So I'm pointing the camera up into the loft towards the window, and you see there's a beam that goes right across the window here. It literally blocks the view. Let me get another angle of it. You can see on the ceiling, these are all the purlin timbers that kind of line the inner ceiling of the loft area. And they go from the back of the house to the front of the house. And on this side, you've got ceiling. But on this side, you've got a cutout window, a little dormer window. So you can see the chair there. When you look like getting in a little closer to the dormer, there's like just this big beam in the way. So that's sort of a relic from the complete build, and Brian had thought about cutting that away just so you can walk to the window. Now it's not, I can actually walk underneath it because I'm short and it doesn't get in my way, but Brian would have to duck to get underneath it to go open or close the window. So that's kind of like another funny one. But so we're warming up, right? There's another couple of indoor ones, but these are just kind of funny things that you might have noticed and thought, what is that? And what is that doing there? And why is that there? Kind of thing. So here's one that you may or may not have noticed. I think when family and guests come to the house, they think, okay, did not notice that when you come into the living room area and you look down the hallway, that your bathtub is at the end of the hallway, right? It's literally right there, So I'm in the middle of the living room right now, and hello, person in the bathtub. Usually it's Brian, but for anyone that's a guest, it's kind of an awkward thing to see and know how to handle. Like, am I supposed to take a bath while people are in the living room? But here's our workaround for now. And this is just the only reason. So the reason that the bathtub is right here, if you're not familiar, if you're new to our channel, you might not understand that what we've built so far is the master bedroom suite that we're living in. We're living in the whole entire master bedroom. The living room area is really going to be where our master bed is in a couple of years. So that is the vision. But right now, the whole thing is our house. So that's why the bathtub is in the wide open like this. But with a piece of plywood, ta-da, you've got a ready-made privacy screen. So that's our workaround when we have people stay over and they need to take a bath. Because also, our shower's not built yet. So we're, bathtub dependent and temporary sliding door dependent. I mean, I suppose we could fashion some type of sliding barn door, but it's, not a permanent situation. And I think a privacy screen is fine for just now. I mean, you may have seen videos where we're showing different parts of the house, but not have really connected the fact that the bathtub is at the end of the hallway. So that's kind of an awkward, oops, we probably need to do something about that. I think a sliding privacy screen is the way to go for now until we build the rest of the house. So, because this is just the only bathroom that the house has. All right, let's take it outside. All right, so I know some of you guys have seen this one because I've seen it in the comments, especially after the last video of the snow footage because it was prominent. But why is there a ladder up there on the bathroom roof? I'm embarrassed to say how long it's been there. It's been there since Brian put the siding up last summer. So all winter long, we've had the ladder up there. And the reason it's up there, it's not because he forgot to take it off after the siding, is that he's wanting to go back and caulk a crack. And it sounds like a simple, straightforward thing until you wait for the temperatures to warm up, and then suddenly you go to do the job, and then you've got yellow jackets that have moved into the crack. So basically, Brian's been waiting for the weather to get cold again, just so he can go up there, caulk the crack without having to worry about the yellow jackets in there, and then get the ladder down. So, I mean, at some point it's probably going to fall down and rot, right? But it's just been up there for an entire year, and it's just hilarious because I said after the snow video, I'm like, you wait and see how many people comment about that ladder. And he just laughed, and I'm like, that ladder, It's one of those things that you need a round to it for. So, okay, let's move on down to the retaining wall because you may or may not have seen this one lately, okay? We had to rob from Peter to pay Paul. Okay, so we're in the back again, familiar footage spot, do a lot of scenes here. But, and you're noticing the retaining wall, the railroad tie. But as we turn the camera, wait, what the heck? And then, so it turned out that one or two of the railroad ties that we had picked up wasn't good for the step area, the rock garden area that Brian was working on. So instead of having to go buy another one or two more railroad ties and slow down the job for the day, he decided to just borrow the ones on the top here, and then we could work on this one a little bit later. But it's just a little bit funny because it's like, hey, retaining wall and railroad tie, and wait, we're missing a couple. And then, then you see them kind of continue over here. That's just a piece of a scrap one that I picked up. But so kind of funny. And then we're coming over to another area. All right, I know you've seen this Easter egg because we've done a lot of driveway work. And it's one of our oldest ones. So way down on the corner of the driveway, there is a big plywood box. It's all smashed up right now. But that box has been there for 2 years. That box originally is the box that was the seat of our toilet throne when we were living in the basement. Brian had to build it up to get the proper drainage so that the toilet would work for the septic area, using without modern day plumbing. He just kind of did the gravity feed. So what happened when we finally moved upstairs and we didn't need that box anymore, I kind of threw it down the hill and I was tired of looking at it. Well, what I ended up doing was I moved it to the corner down there for the UPS man to put his packages for us, because he doesn't like to drive up the driveway in the wintertime because of the snow. And so he's just always puts our packages down there on the bottom corner of the driveway. So I gave him a platform to put the packages on, but the platform used to hold our toilet. So it's just totally funny and random. And I'm glad it's getting totally smashed up right now. Just gonna throw it out because I'm tired of looking at it. It's just, it actually did serve a pretty good purpose because we had so much snow the last couple of years. But anyway, so that's an Easter egg that's just been lingering around, and I'm just happy to see that one go away. But I do have one more Easter egg I know you've never seen. So I'm going to go back inside for that. But I'm wanting to know if there was other things that you guys have noticed that are Easter eggy, like little random. Why is that there? Oh, I've got two more that are inside. So yeah, if you guys have seen any, please drop some in the comments, like what you've noticed. Okay, I'm taking you inside for the last two. All right, we're back in the kitchen. So these last two Easter eggs are kind of my favorites because no one ever notices them. You might have noticed one of them, but they're both from the same project. So you have to look up. Let me tilt the camera up. Look above the cabinet up here. Ding, ding, ding. That is a shim from the cabinet install from 2 years ago. A year and 9 months ago. So there's actually two. There's one right there, and then there's one right above the sink cabinet right there. But they've been there forever, and I can't get them down. I can't reach them. So I need to get the really, really tall step stool. Next time we have it upstairs, I'll go and snap them off. But you have to cut them and then snap them. It's not that complicated. So I could definitely do it, but it's just one of those things, you never really get around to it. Yeah. Some of those. Okay, here's the last one. This was back when, so we installed the cabinets for a while, and then we got the knobs and installed those later. But let me zoom in. What? It was like the last knob Brian was putting on, and then he realized he drilled the hole on the wrong side of the cabinet. Can you believe it? It's just one of those things you almost never notice, but it is one of those things that if you're like Brian, it just bothers you. Just when you're doing a job and you just do one of those instant screw ups and you're like, wow, I totally have to fix that now. So we still have the dowel. He bought the right size dowel to fix it. And I think we even got like a little bit of paint to do that, but just haven't gotten around to it, to actually completing that job to finish that cabinet. So I don't know. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the Easter egg hunt. It was something I'd thought of before because we watch a lot of those trailers for movies where there's Easter eggs. I'm like, I wonder what kind of Easter eggs we've had that people have noticed. Sometimes they're things that you can plant, in your videos to see if people notice it, but sometimes they're just little spoofy oops blooper kind of things that make you go So anyway, silly video, but thought you guys might enjoy some of our little blooper eggs. Anyway, we'll see you on the next one. Bye.